These might just look like a regular set of thrifted dining chairs, but for me, they were a chance at redemption. About 10 years ago, I painted my first set of dining chairs. At the time, I thought I was doing a great job. I picked a pretty paint color, grabbed a brush, and went for it. But within weeks, the paint started to chip. Every bump or scratch took another chunk off, and it only got worse with time. I lived with these chairs for years, and every time I sat down at the table, I was reminded of the mistake I made. The prep wasn't right, the products weren't right, and the finish just didn't hold up. And it was so embarrassing when people came over and saw all the scratches and chips because I paint furniture. And honestly, it drove me nuts. So when I found this new set of dining chairs, I knew I had to do it differently this time. I wanted chairs that looked high end, like something out of a furniture store, but without the big price tag. And I wanted them to hold up for years, through family dinners, kids climbing on them, and all of the daily use. This time I was determined to do everything I could to make sure they wouldn't chip, scratch, or look DIY. I wanted a flawless professional finish. The first step was tackling the grime. These were thrifted chairs, and let's be real, you never know where they've been. Food, grease, sticky messes from years of use. It all has to go before you can even think about painting. My husband Taylor cleaned them thoroughly, scrubbing into the nooks and crannies. I have learned that just skipping this step means your paint is clinging to dirt instead of wood, and it never lasts. Then we sanded. Taylor used our beginner-friendly DeWalt orbital sander. But here's the trick that makes sanding chairs and curves so much easier. We added a foam pad in between the sandpaper and the sander. Chairs are full of curves, spindles, details, and a regular sanding pad just doesn't get into those spots, so you have to sand them by hand. This foam pad flexes and bends with the surface so you can sand curves evenly. Without it, we would be hand sanding forever. So this foam pad is a game changer. After sanding, we vacuumed up the dust and wiped everything down with a tack cloth. Already, the chairs felt different, smooth, clean, and ready for the power of primer. By the way, I have links below in the description to everything I used in this makeover. The beginner tools, the sprayer, foam pads, and primers, everything. They are tools that have completely changed painting furniture for me and made projects like these so much easier and more fun. Check those out in the description below. Now, this is where I refused to repeat one of my mistakes. Back on those first chairs, I skipped primer completely. Big mistake. Primer is what makes paint actually stick, especially on furniture that's going to be used every single day. So this time I went with shellac primer first. We sprayed it on and let it dry overnight to seal in any stains that might come through. Shellac not only helps the paint stick, but it also blocks stains and tannins that can bleed through the paint, making the paint job look dirty. I did not want any surprises showing up under the black paint later. Once that dried, I layered on another primer, and this one in black. I sprayed it on as well for a flawless, smooth finish. This one provides an excellent base coat for uniform coverage, maximum durability, and it's black. So if and when paint chips in the future, I won't have to look at a stark white primer under the chip or the scratch. And I can't help myself, I need a smooth filling finish on my furniture. So we gave it a quick sanding with foam pads to smooth it down, but not sand through the primer. And this is when I started getting really excited because I could tell how much better this was going to turn out than my old chairs. Now, if you've ever struggled with paint chipping or peeling, the biggest change for me came when I nailed down my prep process. That's why I put together my free surface prep checklist. Not all furniture is made the same, and if you prep everything the same, you will end up with big problems you have to fix. This checklist takes you through the exact prep steps I use before painting each type of furniture so you can stop second guessing and start painting with confidence. I'll link it up above and in the description below for you. Now let's talk about paint. Black paint can be brutal if you are not careful. Every brush stroke shows, every streak stands out. I did not want these to look like a quick DIY project. I wanted them to look like factory finished chairs. That's why I chose this paint from Sherwin-Williams in the color Caviar. It's made for cabinets, trim, and furniture, so it's durable. It self-levels beautifully, and it doesn't even need a top coat. That's huge because not needing an extra step while still getting durability is a big win. Now, if I had brushed this paint on, the results would have been completely different. Brushed black paint always shows brush strokes or puddles on the edges, especially on something with lots of slats and spindles like dining chairs. But spraying it, smooth, streak-free, and professional looking. On the other hand, if you're totally against spraying, this paint is one of the very best out there for a smooth, brushed-on finish since it levels out while it dries. You'll still see some brush marks and probably have some small puddles on the edges, even if you're really careful. But it's better than most other paints out there. I used my cheap beginner sprayer, which is one of my favorite sprayers because it's affordable, comes with everything you need to get started, and sprays beautifully without a lot of fuss. It will even spray thick paint without the need to thin it out. Then I sprayed the paint on in thin, even coats. Thin coats are key. They dry faster, they don't drip, and they build up beautifully. 2 coats was all it took, and these chairs were perfect. And here's the part that blows my mind every time. Spraying is so much faster than brushing. If I tried brushing these chairs, it would have taken me 5 times as long, and the finish would not be flawless. With the sprayer, the paint reached into every curve and spindle quickly and efficiently. What used to be the hardest kind of project is actually simple and fun. And if you're ready to really level up, my furniture painting course goes way beyond a single project. I show you my entire system to paint furniture, from start to finish, so you can get a flawless result every time. Whether it's a chair or a dresser or a table, if you've ever been frustrated with brush marks, peeling paint, or just not knowing what to do next, this course is going to change the way you paint furniture. While the paint cured, I turned my attention to the seats. We tore off the old purple floral fabric, which was not my style and didn't match our home, and then upholstered them with a faux leather that ties perfectly with our space. That small change made the whole set feel fresh and modern. When I finally put everything back together, I could not stop staring. Oh, wow. This looks so good. It matches the cabinets. The tan matches the couch. Oh, this looks so much better. I'm so excited, guys. I have been waiting for like 2 years to fix this up and actually have it match. And this looks so good now. And I saved hundreds of dollars, if not like thousands, because this looks so good. So good. The transformation was incredible. From thrifted and budget-friendly, outdated chairs to sleek, black, high-end looking pieces that match my dining table perfectly. And it is such a contrast to those old chairs I painted years ago. The hundreds of chips and scratches were a constant reminder of what happens when you cut corners. These new chairs are a reminder of what happens when you prep properly and use the right products. They look amazing. They feel durable, and I know they will hold up for years. We've already put them to the test with our family using them for a few weeks, and they have held up even through some rough, accidental banging around. And I'm finally not embarrassed to have guests over for dinner. I paint furniture. It shouldn't look terrible. If you want your chairs or painted furniture to look like this, start with prep. Use the right products and don't be afraid to spray instead of brush. And stick around. If you think these chairs are good, just wait until you see the full dining set makeover. In the next video, I'm showing you how I transformed the entire table and chairs from an outdated orange set into a high-end designer look that completely changed our kitchen. You won't believe the before and after. So click over here and watch that next video. I'll see you there.